Heads up before the script. The league feed came back with HTTP 403 forbidden for both standings and the Week 20 scoreboard stats. So there were no fantasy matchup scores or player stat lines available. I did not invent any. The script below is honest about the MLB results that did come through. Rerun once the feed is back if you want a full matchup episode. Good evening, League. Before anything else, I owe you some honesty. The league feed is not talking to me today. Standings, matchup scores, the Week 20 box lines, all of it came back locked. Just a closed door where the numbers usually are. So there will be no category breakdowns tonight. No so and so is up 6-4 with 2 days left. I could guess. I'm not going to guess. I spent enough years of my life dressing up a guess as a fact, and I have the credit history to prove it. The Buddha said it best. You don't have to like it, you just have to accept it. Or maybe that was Yogi. Either way, the standings will still be there tomorrow. What I do have is the field, and the field was generous last night. Let's start where my inner peace goes to die. The Cardinals went into the Bronx and hung 13 on the Yankees. 13. Final was 13-7. Now, I have spent the better part of 2 decades working on my equanimity, breathing exercises, sitting quietly, letting the desire for outcomes simply pass through me like weather. And I want you to know that all of that work held up beautifully right until the moment I saw that score, at which point I stood up in my kitchen at 11 at night and said something I will not repeat on this podcast. 7 runs from the Yankees, and it wasn't close. That is a lot of counting stats being handed out in one building. If you had bats in that game, you had a night. If you had arms in that game, I'd suggest not looking at the ERA column until Thursday. The Cubs did something similar to the Dodgers out at Wrigley. 10-5, 15 runs total, and the Dodger staff wore most of it. 2 of the sports better lineups, and one of them got a lot more out of it. Then there's Colorado, Rays 13, Rockies 9, 22 runs in one ballpark. Every year we all tell each other we've learned our lesson about starting pitchers at altitude, and every year somebody in this league looks at a matchup, squints, and says, how bad can it be? That's how bad it can be. That is what it looks like written down. The rest of the slate was quieter, and quiet has value too. Phillies took the Nationals 6-3. Pirates edged the Brewers 4-3. A 1-run game that probably decided somebody's save or hold. The Giants handled the Rangers 5-1, and the Blue Jays beat the Astros 3-1. 2 games where the pitching lines are going to look a lot better than the offense in your lineup. And Arizona took the Padres 5-1. So if you're trying to read the shape of last night without the scoreboard in front of you, the runs came out of Wrigley, the Bronx, and Coors. The pitching came out of Texas and Houston. Everything else was ordinary baseball, which is most of baseball, which is why we keep watching. I'll be back tomorrow, and hopefully the numbers will be back with me. There's something almost restful about a night where I can't check anything. No scores refreshing. No sitting there at midnight watching a whip tick up by hundreds. Just the games and then sleep. I don't want to overstate it, but I slept fine. Attend to what you can control. Set your lineup, stream your arm, and let the rest arrive when it arrives. This is Roger. May your streamers stream and your closers close.